Hi everybody. So this part was supposed to be about adding things to your pages, and the majority of that video got lost. So I do have a little 5-minute segment of me with no talking that I will be adding here, as well as some ideas that you can use playing cards and contact paper to add things to your book. So I do have, let's see. Okay, so you have a paper, and I went ahead and I cut out a 3.5 by 3.5 inch square. One of the things that I like to do is to add a tuck. And so I will go through my book and look, going through my book. You know what? I have, this is from the prayer journal. When I made it and it was so chunky, I still had some. So what I'll do is I will go through and find places on my pages to add tucks, to add tags, to add a belly band, again another tuck, and I'll just start going through and looking for places to add things. So like there's nothing here, so I might add this, and what you do is you just glue it in the L, the backwards L, and put it on there, and then you're able to tuck something in here and also to flip it up. The other thing that I would do is maybe decorate the envelope that came with the panel cards and add it to the page. And the way that you can, there's a couple of ways you can do that. One of them is by putting a bead of glue down here and making this another tuck spot, or closing this off, and at the same time it also will open this way, and you get this envelope here and this place to decorate here as well. And I've done that throughout this album. So this is from the next prayer journal. I already have, it's basically ready to show you the final product, so coming very soon. So what I was showing you was, now the next step would be to go through and add the pockets and the tuck spots and the borders and places for journaling. So we'll move on to that. Hi everybody. So this episode I'm going to show you some things that you can do with playing cards, just a few things. I had bought this package of playing cards to use in my junk journal for the Dollar Tree Junk Journal Challenge. And so since I'm limited to the items that I purchased from Dollar Tree, I came up with some, I think they're kind of clever ways to use my playing cards. So I had started cutting this and realized I probably should make a video. So what I'm doing is I'm just fussy cutting around the design in this particular card. Okay, and it's little flowers or snowflakes or something. I'm going to say they're flowers. And I'm just going to go ahead and go around them like so. And this right here will give me a tuck spot. So I can use it from up here, glue it down, and we'll go ahead and do that. I'm working on the second signature of the junk journal. I've got one basically done. So we'll just make a tuck spot. So we'll be able to place something underneath there. Now with the piece that's left, you can also go ahead and cut it so that you can see the flowers, because nothing's going to waste except for maybe that little, actually that little scrap there will be going on the embellishments that I'll be making in one of the next episodes. And I'm going to show you how to make some embellishments using your scraps from these limited items when you can't go to your stash and you still want to have things happening. So what I'm going to look for here is a tuck spot, and I don't have one, so we'll go ahead and make sure there's not one already made. Well, here's this one. So we have this that is made out of the contact paper added to some of the artist paper. The side, I want the flower side to show, and I want it to be there. So we're going to go ahead and put some glue on those corners and put it down in this corner. Okay. Just hold it down. I'm still using my Aqua Tombow glue. It works really well. And then we're going to come across, and I'm going to put this on here. One way or another. Let's see, like this. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and just cut this part off. This is going to give us a really small tuck spot down here. Again, we're going to put glue on in an L on the outside. And if you had like the little tickets or something like that, those would work really well in this little tuck spot. Excuse me. What is with the sneezes in my videos lately? Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and hold that down so it stays. Okay, so we've made the little tuck spot here and this one here. Now another thing that I have done is, let's see, so I like cutting along the actual the flowers. So I'm going to make a corner tuck spot. Okay, so starting in this corner here. Now if this didn't have a pattern, you could just cut straight across, make at an angle. Or you know, make up your own pattern on it. If you're not in this challenge, you could even, I've taken playing cards and used my big kick and cut out of the center and then made shaker cards out of the playing cards that turned out really kind of cool. I just like that they are, you know, there's at least 52 cards plus the jokers, and so that was going to give me a lot of tags and places, things, and it gave me another printed something that matched my theme and went along with my calendar. Okay, so on this one I'm coming all the way and I'm going just to that flower there. So I've left those. Okay, so we're going to go in and let's skip kind of further back. We'll go to here. Oh, we just cut up a joker. Speaking of the Joker. So I just got a phone call from my grandson and wanting to make sure I was going to be able to still make his Venus flytrap costume for Halloween. I love it when they call and they have an idea. One year I got to make Bumblebee, the Transformer, and my other grandson was actually able to transform into the car and then back into the robot. And I built it starting with Mary Kay boxes. And it was so cool. I did flashlights for the headlights. And that's how he held his little, held the box. Oh, it was cool. It was really cool. And then a few years later, that grandson called me and told me he wanted to be a cobalt blue tarantula. And so I built a cobalt blue tarantula. I didn't even know there was such a thing. So this is the youngest grandson, and he last year actually wore the cobalt blue tarantula to school for their parade, their costume parade. And so that was cool. Now the Bumblebee, it was funny. It lasted about a month, and he called me and said, "Nanya, can you make me another Bumblebee? This one broke." I was like, yep, nope. It took me so long, but it was awesome. My now husband and I were dating at the time, and so he got to experience how zoned I can get when I'm doing something, and how I want something to work, but also how I have a vision, and then taking it and bringing it into realization, and he can do that too. But that was our first experience of him being able to see me do that. So that was pretty cool. So what is everybody, is anybody out there making Halloween costumes? That's always been something fun. The call came because they were going to the Halloween store, or they had gone to the Halloween store, and he didn't even try on costumes or anything because Nanya's making his. So his mom wanted to call, my daughter wanted to call and make sure, had him call, make sure it was still on my agenda. Oh yeah, it is. I can't wait. I wish they weren't so far away. And they're not far away like many of you have far away. Mine are only 3.5 hours away, but even at that, it's still. So I've gone ahead and I've cut this. I did save this, as you can see down here. And I'm just looking for a place for it to go. That would be cool, except for this pops up. So what we can do though is it can go inside here. So I'm just adding glue again in the L and putting it in there. Yep, so I'm just putting this in here. And we'll leave that like that. Okay, so another little thing that I'm going to be doing is the card actually folds really nicely. And so you can add a little bit of journaling inside. You can make this can go into a tuck spot. Add a little bit, just glue some There we go. Put some glue on that card. Okay. And just go ahead and put this down. You want to try and make sure that you are even. And just glue some lined paper to the card. And then cut around the outside. I mean, this is pretty obvious. But you can do that, or you could even turn this little card into a little miniature notebook. And make a little signature and sew it in there and everything. Okay. So I got a little piece sticking up over here. Okay. So let's go ahead and make sure that that center is down. And there we go. So now we have this sweet little book that can go somewhere in this book. So right there. And you have another little tuck spot, and you can still see the king under it, which is kind of cool. So we'll put that up here in our to be put into things. Okay, so another thing you can do with a card is you can just make it into a tuck spot. So I've added one of the gold seals to this one, and then I've just turned it into a tuck spot here. Okay. Let's see. I also took the negative from the seal, added a little bit of the contact paper, and I have a card here that I'm going to be adding some journaling to, and that'll give me another fun card in the book. And you could just leave them, you know, like the king and or the queen of hearts might be kind of cool to have in your book. Or if it, like it was me, 8 is my favorite number. So in this one, I think I even turned it so you could see the 8. Yeah, there you go. So those are some ways of using playing cards. You've also seen me take 2 numbered playing cards. So if your daughter's going to be 5, you can take the 2 playing cards and glue them in their book. I actually had one that was for a quinceanera, and I went ahead and I had the numbers showing. I did the hearts, the 2 of hearts, or the 5 of hearts and the 10 of hearts, and I had them showing up at the top. And so that's another thing that you can do with the cards. You can cut out this and make it a frame. That would be kind of cool in a junk journal, to have this cut out and to have it be a frame. You could take like 3 cards and place them across and have that be a tuck spot. You could glue around and make a pocket. I mean, those are kind of obvious things, but that is something that you could do. Okay. So, but I wanted to show you because I think these are really kind of cool. These little tuck spots that that I made for this book. So there's the one on top. There's the one on down below, and it is a tuck spot. The thing is it's on one of these, so whatever goes here has to be really small. Okay, so So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you go out there or go to the cupboard and find yourself some cards and add them in many fun and different ways to your junk journals, like we did. See, got a couple different ones. Okay, here. I'm back. I'm going to go ahead and make a couple things using the this paper. This paper. So I want to go ahead and grab just a piece of the copy paper, or not copy paper, it's the artist paper that we had, and I should have some, there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just attach this directly onto this piece of paper, and I want the roses mostly, so I'm going to go ahead and go to this corner. Okay. And again, I'm just laying it, trying to not have any bubbles. So there we go. And that is going to give me a great paper. And then I'm going to take this, and what I want to do with this is I'm actually going to make a side flip that is going to go on one of the pages. Okay. And so what I want to do is I want to cover this here. And this looks like it might be the actual edge of the paper, maybe, maybe not. Yeah, so that's going to be too big, but I can fix that, right? I can fix that. So since I don't know yet what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to leave it just like it is. And this I'm going to bring over, and no, I wanted to use that for that. Okay, when I cut it, did I end up cutting it so that it's going to fit on here, maybe? Well, let's give this a straight cut. That would be a good start. Giving it a straight cut. Okay. So we've given it a straight cut. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and take the sticky part of the contact paper off. And let's see, that's not big enough. And this is our straight side. So I'm going to go ahead and start here. Try not, oh man, like I said, trying not to stretch it, because once you stretch it, okay. Am I on? Yeah. Okay. So there's that. I'm going to come back and cut this piece. Not with those scissors. Woo. Those ones don't cut contact paper. Okay. There. And there. And I'm saving those over on the side there. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and we have this little sliver right here. And I could go ahead and just come in with a sliver, or I can leave it, and I think I'm gonna just leave it because I don't think you notice it, or I don't notice it so much, so it's probably okay. Okay, I'm gonna line this up and come in and try and cut off the contact paper that's left. Okay, so that gives us a side journal spot tuck. Okay, and I don't like the way that it cuts, so we're gonna go ahead and cut a little bit. I need to go get a new trimmer, but you know, it's just not as much fun to buy old tools that you already have. Okay, so we have that kind of tuck. Let's see. Another piece of paper. And this piece. And I think we will lay this out, and on this one I want these, see these two? The whole thing of those are there, so I'm going to try and get those so that they can become like a tag or something. Okay. I'm making my own paper here is what I'm doing. Uh-oh, this one got folded. What a bummer. Okay, so my other idea was to fussy cut these roses. Okay, so go ahead and come up here and just fussy cut around them. I cut the bulk of it off so that it's easier to go around. I move the paper instead of the scissors when I fussy cut, and I usually like to use my Cricut scissors. I don't see them, they're not right here. I have a little tiny pair of Cricut scissors that came with the Cricut tool pack. They're very sharp and they're small. But I've been doing some other small stuff, so they're probably in one of those places with the other small stuff. Okay. So this just gives you an idea of some of the things that I'm going to be doing to get ready, because I think these will be really neat on these. They'll look great on the playing cards. as a decoration. And I mean, look how, won't that look cool? Just with, oh, and by the way, okay, so these are from Dollar Tree, and today at Dollar General, I found some of these Tender Thoughts, but they were $3.25 for the package of 8. And you could tell they're from this same line with the watercolor stenciling. And, but anyway, I was going to remember to say something about that. I forgot till just now. Okay, so we have that fussy cut. And I'm going to probably make a tag out of this one. Let's see. Let's go ahead and so another thing that I can do with this is I'm going to make another piece of paper here once I get it undone. Okay, so I'm going to come over here and put it on here. Okay, I'm going to use the little cutter. And cut down. And then we'll come this way. And we'll cut down over here. Right about there. We're going to cut this one like that, and then we're going to measure it. We can come over here and cut and get a straight edge. And we're going to cut one of those. Okay, so we could use this for a pocket. Could use it for a tag. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and measure. We're at 3, just a little over 3 1/4. So come to just a little over 3 1/4. Put that down, cut it. And now we have one of those squares. And go ahead and fold it. Make sure it's square. Make sure it's, we're going to fold it, we're going to fold it, we're going to fold it. Okay. So there. And there we have one of those corner tuck spots. So on our signature, we can take one of the pages, put this down, glue it in an L. We will have a place to journal and also be able to tuck something in here. Okay, so that is what we're going to do there. And I think that will be all at this time. And I'm going to go ahead and go cook dinner. And I'll be back. Sorry there's no speaking. This I taped or videoed this 5-minute segment while my husband was sleeping, and so there's no there's no talking. Find something to celebrate every day. There you go. I like that one. And don't forget to subscribe. Bye-bye.